So lining up for this is the under 17 and under 19 5,000 metres. Isaac, take away the field.
So on the inside, we have Jai Hadfield in hip number 1. Hip number 2, we got Lincoln Belgrove. Hip number 3, Ferdinand Faith. Hip number 4, Archie Noakes. Number 5, Reese Hadfield. Number 6, Brody Andrews. Number 7, Matthew Buckle. Number 8, Nick Chambers. Number 9, Brandon Muscat. Number 10, Sam Bunnage. 11, one of my training partners, Jordan Abbott. Number 12, Ned Buckle. 13, Eric Trinkle. And 14, Corey Dixon to round out the field.
And the times are getting quicker and quicker. So we talked about our underage races earlier on in the evening. Of course, all our underage races sponsored by the running companies Ballarat, Lilydale, Yarraville and Clifton Hill. So get into one of the running company stores. And our PBs range from, well, Archie Noakes of Essendon, 14:40. So he'd almost get a start in this, well, he'd get a start in the men's C race for sure, if not the men's B race later on this evening. But the underage race tonight for Archie Noakes. Then we have Matthew Buckle, 14:52. Matthew Buckle, so he's from Bendigo University. So a few around the low 15-minute mark, high 14s, most around the mid-15s. So, I mean, we know to break 15 minutes, we're looking for 3 minutes per kilometre, 72 seconds, or 1 minute and 12 seconds per lap. Their digits I had memorised, etched in my mind, Isaac, for as a junior, the 9-minute 3,000 metres, or earlier on the 4-minute 30, 1,500 metre. I'm very familiar with 72-second laps.
Yeah, same. At the start of the season, that was my goal, the sub-9 3K, so did a lot of work.
You're part of the club now?
Yeah, part of the club.
Oh, welcome.
Absolutely boomed through the club. I'm just going to say, before I get another thing to eat, watch out for Jai Hadfield. He absolutely flew across the weekend. Beautiful mullet as well. That's not the only reason I think he's great, but he had a really impressive state championship. Yeah,
he took out the double in the 1,500 and the 3K and closed very fast, about a 4:01 or 4:02 final 1,500 in that 3K. So he is a fit man at the moment, as is some of the other boys in the field. Archie Noakes came 2nd and 3rd in the 15 and 3K, so he's one to watch out for as well. And one of the other Hadfields, I believe Reese Hadfield is in this field. Yep, I can see him there.
Yeah, he's lane 5 in the black singlet. Reese Hadfield, he's at the Berwick Track Club kit that he's repping there.
Yeah, and him and Jai have had a pretty good season. They're both doing really well at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see who can take out the win here out of the two brothers. So they're off to a good start. Noakes, no surprise, is straight to the front. He's got the fastest seed time in the field, and Hadfield, he knows he can beat him. He beat him twice at the state championship, so he's just going to go with him here, it looks like. And then we've got our Bendigo University athlete in 3rd. They're leading the rest of the pack.
Now, it will be interesting. As you said, Archie Noakes has the fastest seed time, but is he really looking to time trial it tonight? It sort of seems like he is right now. I don't know, it might be in his best interest just to have a race for once.
Yeah, it'll be tough conditions to do it in. I think the wind has died down a bit. It's hard to tell when you're sitting down. You can always feel a bit more when you're running, but I think that he could be able to run a decent time on his own. It's a decent crowd, so they'll get behind him, and hopefully Hadfield can just close that gap and keep the pressure on him later in the race.
So without the pacemakers in this race, it almost already seems like what our men's A race might end up like later on, exactly. With Stewie, the solo athlete, leading out the front, then a B and a C pack, to follow. So we'll have the cameras following all athletes, of course, but right now it's on Archie Noakes, who has broken away. You can't see it clearly on the camera now, but it's about 30 metres ahead of a thick pack to follow. So it is good. The rest of the pack is pretty thick, heading around that 15:30 mark, but Archie Noakes is leading the way in the Athletics Essendon singlet.
And yeah, right behind him, well, not right behind him, but a fair way behind him now, Hadfield leading that next pack. It's a good bunch there, so hopefully some of those boys can stay in and work together, but Noakes is going to come up 1:47 through 600, so he's under that 3-minute K pace and under the 15-minute pace, and the rest of the pack just a bit over that pace. So they're working together. They're going to hopefully stick together for as long as they can. and maybe get close to Noakes in the later stages of the race.
Now, I'm liking Matthew Buckle, the athlete from Bendigo University. He has a sub 15-minute PB to his name, and he's just sitting on the, well, he's just on the outside of Hadfield now. He was just behind him on his heels. He might just be itching to get into the front. So we'll see what he does. I was liking him just because he was biding his time, sitting in, saving a bit of energy. Now, no, it looks like he might want to take the lead off Hadfield.
Yeah, so they're moving along nicely. I reckon that if you're in that pack, you just want to stay there. I don't reckon it'd be a good idea to hit the front. It's probably better just to sit in because they are going at a decent pace and they will probably pick it up towards the end of the race. As we saw on the weekend, Hadfield does have a big finish in him, so he will get moving and try and run down Noakes in the last couple of Ks, I reckon. So I reckon it's a safe spot to be right behind him because he's a quality athlete, and out the front, a very quality athlete. Archie Noakes, he's going through the 1K there right on 3 minutes. So they're moving nicely. The rest of the pack's going to come through in about 3:04, 3:05. So they're moving along well. And this is going to be a good race if they can keep up this pace, because anything around that 15-minute pace for this age group that's very good. Yeah,
absolutely. That, once again, we talked about milestones, and you start heading around that mid 15 minutes as an under 20 athlete. Like club level runner, you're getting pretty quick. You're on the way to nationals at the under 20 around that mid 15s, which is the bulk of these athletes here. And we say there is a pack. From our view on the side of the track here, they are starting to string out one by one, almost in two packs there, as we see brother Reese Hadfield and Jai Hadfield breaking away in that. Well, we call it a second pack here because Archie Noakes is all on his own, still in his breakaway pack of one as our peloton follows. So who is it leading? Matthew Buckle is from Bendigo University, so it's the Hadfields and the Bendigo boys in that second pack as everyone starts to string out.
Yeah, the rest of that pack, the third group there, they're going to have to try and stay on. The Mentone athletes just moved up onto the back of Reese Hadfield. I believe that is Sam Bunnage, so he's going to have to try and get right on Reese's heels because you don't want to be in no man's land between the two packs. And from Knox, we have Dixon leading that next group there. So hopefully these boys can stick together because they need to work together if they want to get a good time. But out the front, all on his own, working by himself, Archie Noakes. He's got the head down. He's just working hard. I think he's coming up to around the 1 mile mark.
Yeah.
So this is
4
quick
laps down.
As he goes through in about 4:45, so he has picked it up. So he's going for it. He's dropped under the 3-minute K pace. He went through the K right on 3 minutes, and he's gone through the 1600 in 4:45, which is under the 3-minute K pace.
And that's Ned Buckle as well, following brother Matt Buckle. So we have the two brothers in that pack helping each other out. So we have the Hadfields and the Buckles, and Sam Bunnage, the solo athlete without a brother in that front in that pack. No one to help him out.
But no one to help him out. Archie Noakes knows all about that because he's coming up to the 1800 metre mark and he is rolling. So he's out there on his own doing the work and he looks pretty smooth. He doesn't look like he's working too hard. He's got a good stride. Doesn't look like he's in too much trouble at the moment. And yeah, Buckle leading that next pack. Then you got Hadfield, then you got Buckle, and then you got Hadfield and Bunnage.
It'll be interesting to see what they go through 2K mark in, a few of these boys. So as we said, 6 minutes would be a 15-minute 5K, which should be comfortable for for Archie Noakes out in front, having a PB about 20 seconds ahead of that as he goes through in 5:55. So he increased his pace. He ran a 3-minute first K and a 2:55, 2:56 second K. These boys in that second pack, the Hadfields and the Buckles and Bunnage, all went through in about 6:05. So
they've picked it up as well. Bang on 3 minute for that K. So
yeah, perfect.
They're going for it.
They've actually picked up the pace.
Yeah. So they've pulled away from that third pack quite a bit. They weren't too far. They were pretty close just 2 laps ago, and now the gap's really opened up to about 30, 40 metres. And Noakes is just continuing to extend his lead as he goes through 2.2 Ks. So he's got a while to go, but he's still looking pretty calm. He's still looking comfortable, and his strides are looking good.
So for everyone who's just tuned in, Isaac, we've got the A races coming up this evening. After this, we've got the men's D, men's C. Our block of A races started at 8:23 for the men's 1,000, then 8:30 for the women's 1,000. And then we've got 8:37 for the women's 5,000 and 9:02 for the men's 5,000 for all the A races. So from 8:23 onwards, A races. We've got a couple of B races to finish off the evening, but and one of them, the men's B race, we've got Jared Clifford going for a world classification record.
Yeah,
so exciting night ahead.
Is a very good field. I was looking at it before, and there are some guys who, at the Vic 5K champs were in that A race. I think Thorpe was the Vic 5K champion, I believe, and he's in the B race, so that shows the quality of the A race. They're going for quick times, and so is Archie Noakes out the front on his own. He's got 7 laps to go, about to come up to 6 laps to go, I'm pretty sure, and yeah, he's moving well.
I feel like I'm almost watching a Zatopek 10,000 metres with these packs just forming within small packs within a race, and now they're just starting to break up. The Hadfields and the Buckles are starting to go one-on-one with each other. So it is, looks like Matthew Buckle ahead of Jai Hadfield and Reese Hadfield ahead of Ned Buckle, or Ned Buckle ahead of Reese Hadfield. Too many Buckles and Hadfields. And then Sam Bunnage looking to take both those boys, moving into 4th position on that back straight there as we see the athletes. So Noakes, forget about Noakes. He's way in front of everyone. He's heading for a sub 15 minutes or thereabouts. The Buckles and the Hadfields doing well. Lincoln Belgrove from Glen Huntley on our screen right now. Fine form, and the Knox boys as well, soon to follow. So we'll see our athletes come around the 3K mark pretty soon. As we see, Archie Noakes is just on screen now, coming through 3K, 7.5 laps down, almost only 5 to go. And 3K, 8:53.
Moving. So another sub 3 minute K for Noakes, and Buckle and Jai Hadfield are going to come through right on 9 minutes there, 9:01. And then that next pack with Bunnage, Ned Buckle and Reese Hadfield in about 9:06. So they're moving. They could get under the 15-minute mark if they can kick down these next 5 laps. But out the front, it's Noakes, and he's still looking pretty calm. It's not too much strain on his face, but he is starting to take in some heavy breaths. And yeah, he's still got about 40 metres on the rest of the field there. So Jai Hadfield and Matt Buckle just going to try and reel him in here, I reckon.
Everyone's spread out, but it's still very impressive running from the guys in these 2nd and 3rd packs, the Hadfields and the Buckles, Sam Bunnage as well. They'll be heading for a low to mid 15 minutes, which would be PBs for a few of them. Jai Hadfield, 15:20 PB. Who else do we have? We have Ned Buckle, 15:24 PB. Sam Bunnage, a 15:36 PB. They're all heading for about 15:15s, those guys in the 2nd and 3rd packs.
So Noakes is still moving along nicely. He's holding onto that just under 3 minute pace, about 2:58 pace. And Jai Hadfield, he's made the move. He's got a bit of a gap now on Buckle. It's about 2 metres at the moment, but I reckon over this next lap we'll see it stretch out. As he's got about 50 metres to go if he wants to catch up to Noakes. So he's going to have to put the head down and get to work here. But Noakes is still moving nicely. He's still got the strides going. And Hadfield, yeah, it's about 50 metres at the moment. So he's going to have to really go for it now, as they've got about just 1,500 metres to go, I'm pretty sure. So they're moving nicely.
He will have to put his head down, Isaac, but it's definitely not impossible as it looked about a K ago.
Yeah.
He's definitely, I would say he's making a good bit of ground on Noakes. He's charging away from Buckle there. As the other boys we see on screen, Bunnage, Ned Buckle and Reese Hadfield, all still holding pretty good form. The boys from Knox as well in screen now.
We've got Dixon, Trinkle and Belgrove in that group there, working together, sharing the lead. It's Dixon in the lead now, as we saw about a lap ago, it's Belgrove. But Noakes comes up, 3 laps to go, 11:17 on the clock. So he's moving, and he's got the game face on. It looks like he's going to try and pick it up because he knows Hadfield's coming. And Hadfield has closed the gap.
Absolutely. Only 40 metres behind. I would say 400 metres ago, he was about 50 metres, and he's got 3 laps to go of this race. Buckle's holding strong, but it is Hadfield who is charging towards Noak and just decreasing that gap. Bunnage is leading the rest of them into Ned Buckle and Reese Hadfield. The boys from Knox are to follow as we see what the splits will be coming through 4K, Isaac.
So 11.53 for Noakes. You had a look down at the watch there. It's going to be 11.58 for Hadfield, 11.59 maybe. So he's still under the 15-minute pace, and he's going to have to really go for it. The gap has closed. It's about 35 metres now. And I reckon he could be a chance here, Hadfield. He closed so super fast in the 1500 and 3K Vic Champs. He managed to beat Noakes, but Noakes has the head start now. So it's about 30 metres. Noakes knows he's being chased down by Jai Hadfield. So it's the two under 18s, two of the best under 18s in the state and in the country. And it is Noakes coming up, 800 to go, 12.29. He has about 4 seconds on Hadfield. So Hadfield can close that gap, I reckon. It's about 25 metres now. So Hadfield, he's got Noakes in his sights. Noakes is starting to just look like he's struggling a bit more now. And we see Matt Buckle in hip number 7 from Bendigo starting to move. He's just going to try and hold off Bunnage, who's starting to get a move from Mentone. And now we see Ned Buckle and Reese Hadfield come through to get 800 to go. And they're starting to move as well. So everyone looking to pick it up a bit now.
It's no longer about the time anymore, Isaac. It's about the race as we see Noakes, 600 metres to go. Now only about a 2-second gap. A lap ago, it was a 5-second gap. So 600 metres to go. And Hadfield is closing in on Noakes. Noakes has led from the start like an ambitious Tour de France rider. Hadfield just sat in the pack, or he kind of led the second pack himself, but has just bided his time with almost a lap to go. He's only 5 metres behind him. This is getting exciting. This is what you like to see. This is what you stay up till 3 a.m. to watch in Tour de France. We've got it here at Box Hill.
So here we go. It's about a 5 metre gap between Noakes and Hadfield. Hadfield managed to pull away by about probably more than 5 metres at the Vic Champs. So this could be a big finish here. It's going to be a tight one. Noakes is a gritty runner. We saw him run an incredible race at Zatopek in the under 23K, and he was gutsy there. Can he show that kind of courage here as Hadfield makes the pass? So 2:50 to go. Jai Hadfield, he's moving. It's the under 18 boys going at it here. So Hadfield, he's got a bit of a gap now on Noakes, but Noakes isn't going to let him get too far. So 200 to go in 14:11. They're really starting to get a wriggle on here. Hadfield, he looks like he's gone into near his final gear. I reckon he's got 1 gear to go, and he's just going to save it until he comes into the straight, and the gap is starting to open up now. Noakes, what a run. He was gutsy to go out on his own, but Hadfield closed him down, and he's going to pull away now. Look at this. This is a very good time. It's going to be under the 15-minute mark for both these boys. Hadfield, what a run. Watch the clock. This is very fast running, and Noakes is giving it everything, but it'll be 14:42 for Hadfield, 43 for Noakes. So that is some huge, brilliant running there, and missed the split there for that last lap, but that would have been quick.
Massive, massive PB from Hadfield there. Close to a PB from Noakes. So Hadfield had his PB listed of 15:20 and goes mid 14:40, 14:42, 14:43 was it? Huge. Now we have... is it Matthew Buckle, 14:52 was his PB, and it will stand at his PB. We have Sam Bunnage, huge run from Sam Bunnage, previous PB of 15:30, and he collects PB about 15 seconds. Brother Ned Buckle comes through, he'll collect a PB as well.
Reese Hadfield there as well.
Reese Hadfield, Lincoln Belgrove.
Eric Trinkle finishing strong, Dixon as well, so that pack of 3 worked together well, but then split up over the last lap. Now, Jordan Abbott finishing strong. This is a good run from him. It's going to be 15:40, so a bit off his PB, but a good run from him, backing up after the 3K. And
Muscat as well. PB of a bit over 20 seconds for Brandon Muscat of Western Athletics. As we said, if you're running in the 15s as an under 20 athlete, especially the low 15s, that's some very quality running. That sort of sees you running at nationals most years.
Yeah, and a lot of under 18 athletes here, so some very good running from these boys, and they could be going around the mid-14s by the time they're in the under 20s, so great running from those boys. It was a good race up front between Hadfield and Noakes. It was a good battle in that last lap, and Hadfield managed to run Noakes down to get the win in a very good race there.
Absolutely. They'll take a bit of inspiration, look ahead to the athletes in our A and B races this afternoon or this evening to see what is to come in their careers, because that's some hot racing for under 18s and under 20s. As we see Nick Chambers crossing the line, he'll get a PB as well by about 15 seconds. Previous PB 16:50, and he crosses the line 16:38. Brodie Andrews, Bit off a PB for Brodie Andrews, 16.25. He runs a 16.50. Solid running nonetheless. And we have our athlete Ferdinand Faith from Collingwood just on his last lap. Next race on the track will be our men's D, followed by our men's C, 5,000 metres. So don't go anywhere. Couple of 5Ks to go. Then we have our block of A races. Men's A race at 8.23. Women's A race for 1K at 8.30. Women's A 5K at 8.37. Men's A race for 5K at 9.02. And then on from there, women's B 9.25, men's B 9.45. So awesome evening of running coming up. Don't go anywhere.